Unlike the original Benjamin, my team didn't hate me. In fact, they knew that I was a real soldier and a real hero that won most of the battles for America during World War II, but it's classified information, and unlike before, Crimson Countess really loved me because she knew that I was a good man. So one day when something bad happened to my team and they went crazy for whatever reason, I used my powers to help them and I healed them, and Team Payback never had any trouble with me, and they even helped me kill Hitler and the rest of the Nazis, and I even saved Black Noir by shielding him with my body during an explosion that would have cost Black Noir his face. And all my team members, including Crimson Countess, cried because they all thought I was dead, and they asked, is he okay, is he alive? And Crimson Countess screamed, what's wrong with him, is he dead, please tell me, is he going to live? And the doctors said he's on the brink of death, but his body is trying to heal itself already thanks to his extraordinary powers. He might live, but he's severely injured and burned, he might not ever be the same again, and his heartbeat is very weak. I don't think he will survive. God bless this man for giving his life for our country. And Crimson Countess said, fuck you and fuck this country. And then right after I was honorably discharged from the military for my injuries as a war hero, Crimson Countess practically kidnapped me and took me to her house somewhere, and she nursed me back to health and my body healed, and now I looked like a young Jensen Ackles, and I'd often wake up at night with PTSD from all the real trauma I had in my life. And Crimson Countess would often make love to me all the time no matter what, and she said, I love you so much, I'm sorry for everything you went through, and this fucked up world doesn't deserve you. And I said, you were right, it doesn't, but it got me anyway, and my work isn't done. I have to make sure my son is not raised in a laboratory like he's some kind of monster. I have to find his mother and save her, and I need your help. Do you remember that blonde woman I was with? And she said she was pregnant with my son. Well, I got to find him and save him, and then I used my incredible powers to sense my son, and I teleported to his mother to prevent her from dying. I used my powers to save his mother and my son from living a tragic life full of pain and suffering, and I even decided to take his mother with me to the house of Crimson Countess, and I decided to make Crimson Countess immortal secretly, and I did the same thing for John's mother, and I saved my family that day by saving John's mother from being killed by him and Lorraine Holden, and John's mother stayed with me, and I even got a job as a doctor, and I went back home to take over my father's old business, and Crimson Countess and John's mother Catherine Moore stayed with me, and I took care of them, and I married Lorraine Holden, and Catherine Moore continued to stay with us, and John Walker grew up with his father Soldier Boy. In this story, unlike the original story, things were better for John, and I taught him how to control his powers so he didn't accidentally kill anyone. I made sure that my son Homelander had a normal childhood despite his incredible powers, and then one day Black Noir showed up at my house and he said, hello Benjamin, how are you? And I said, what are you doing here? What do you want here? And I pulled out my gun and I said, you can't have my son now, leave us alone, I've done enough for this country, let us live in peace. And then he said, Vought is recruiting superheroes and this job pays well, old friend. And then I told him the truth about Vought, and I said Vought is pure evil, he was a former Nazi and they all did cruel experiments on me. When I was a kid I was even raped and molested many times by a Nazi woman and sedated. I was pretty much tortured by those bastards, and they were going to do the same thing to my son in laboratory, so I saved him. And Black Noir said, just let me in Benjamin, I just want to talk, I have all the information you need. So I let him in and I heard him out, and unlike before in the canon TV series of The Boys, I would be there for my son and everyone else so they didn't make any terrible mistakes and kill innocent people. And this time my son Homelander stayed with Queen Maeve and he made love to her, and they even had a child together, and he named him Ryan Walker. One day I told my son that the Vought serum came from my DNA because I was born a super. You are more powerful than you know, John, you're my son, your powers might be omnipotent, don't let the Vought Corporation turn you into a monster, you're my son and you're a good man, so I would ask you, son, to please try your best not to kill anyone if you can help it, and I know you can. But unlike before, Becca Butcher wasn't forced by Homelander to have sex with him. Instead, it's different, she had sex with him while he was sleeping.